Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Cucinato. I'm one of the customer success coaches here at Bright MLS. And today we're going to be taking a look at residential search and some of the additional fields. And those additional fields are going to enable us to find some relatively unique property details on listings. So let's go ahead and jump into residential sale and take a look at some of those additional fields. Now, I'm going to show you a couple uh, key fields, I guess you might say, that I want to highlight today. But then I'm also going to show you kind of an interesting tip or a trick that'll help you identify any field to find any keyword. So we'll get to that. So we are here in residential sale. And now we're going to go ahead and scroll towards the bottom. And that's where we're going to find some of these additional fields. I'm going to go ahead and stop my video here so we can get a full screen for you. All right. So here at the bottom of the residential sales search page, I'm going to go ahead and increase my zoom level a little bit so you guys can see better. And that was a control plus or a control minus on my keyboard. And that's a PC. And if you are on a Mac, you can do the same with command plus or minus, and that'll increase or decrease your zoom level. So again, command for Mac, control for PC. Now that's going to be important because that is going to apply to any fields like we see here, okay, any of these pick list fields. All right. So when we come down here to the very bottom, we have these additional fields that we can access here. So I'm going to click on this add button. That's going to take us into a section where we can apply some of those additional fields. So when we're talking about certain appliances, remarks, maybe you want to add a state or province field. Well, we can do that here under the available fields. For example, appliances. Well, we can search and we can see a field here for appliances that might be in the home. Okay, so we can click add in the middle and then it moves it over to selected fields. I'm going to come back here to this search field below the available fields. Or I guess I should say this search bar right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and then plug in state. So we're going to see a field called state or province. That'll allow us to specify an entire state or exclude an entire state. So we'll go ahead and add that one as well. Another one which is pretty popular is remarks. Okay, so we'll come down here in this little search bar and we'll type out remarks. Always helps to spell properly. And we can see we have a field called remarks, public and private. So that is going to allow us to search keywords within the remarks fields, whether that be agent remarks or public remarks. So we'll go ahead and add that one as well. Garage features is another pretty popular one, side entry, front entry, attached, detached. So let's go ahead and we'll type out garage. Okay, we see we have a field here called garage features. We'll click add. So we've added a couple. Now there is another one that I want to add, and that's called green energy generation. Right now, solar panels are becoming a little more popular. So maybe we want to search for properties with a solar array or solar panels, whether that be leased or owned. So we'll type out green energy. And we'll select that one there and add it. Okay, so now we've added those couple fields. I'm going to go ahead and click this back button here. All right, this little back button is going to take us back to the criteria page. And now if we scroll to the bottom, we are going to see those newly added fields. So we have our appliances field. Okay. We have state or province. And keep in mind, we have the or not feature down below. So I can select to only search an entire state instead of a given county, or I could exclude an entire state from my results. We also have public and private remarks. I'll show you that one in just a second, but garage features. Okay, we'll scroll through this one. So we can see we have side entry, rear entry, inside access, underground garage. You have a couple options there. And then green energy generation. Okay, now that's kind of an obscure field, I guess you might say. But within that field, you will see PV solar arrays or photovoltaic solar arrays owned or leased. That's a type of solar photovoltaic. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to remove those. Now, those are some of those fields. Now, you might be wondering, well, how did I know green energy generation had solar arrays as an option within that field? I'll show you that one in just a second, but I want to cover remarks. How can you search for a keyword or phrase? Well, you're going to use an asterisk, then enter your keyword. Again, always helps to spell correctly, and then another asterisk. And what that does is it tells the system that you want to find any listing that has that keyword in the remarks. Okay. Now, if I didn't have those asterisks there, what I'd be telling the system is that the only thing that can exist within those remarks is that keyword. By putting the asterisk before and after, that opens it up so that any series of characters or texts can exist before or after that keyword. Okay. So it acts as kind of a wildcard feature. So it says by doing it this way with the asterisk on both sides of that keyword, it tells the system that you want to find any listing that has that word somewhere in those remarks, public or private. Okay. Now you can come here and click on the question mark, and that'll give you some additional information about how to use that field with those asterisks. We'll go ahead and close that down. Now, I did want to show you one tip or trick here when it comes to these additional fields. We're going to go ahead, we're going to go into additional fields. We're going to click add remove. Now, just like the fields on the criteria page, if you want to select multiples, all you have to do is hold that control key. But I'm going to click on the first one, scroll to the very end, hold the shift key, and select the last item. That's going to select everything in between. If I click add, that's going to add all of those fields at once. Okay, now it's going to take a moment and you're going to get a message because some of those fields already exist on the page. So it's letting you know that some were already there. That's okay. We're going to click on the little back button down here at the lower left, and that'll take us back to that criteria page, and you have all these fields added. Now, remember, we talked about the command and the control key. Okay. Mac is command, PC is control. If I come here and I get to this page, I now have all of this information on the page. Say I want to try to find any and all fields that contain solar. Well, I can hit Control F on my PC device or Command F on my Mac device, and I have this little text bar up here, up towards the top right. I can type out any keyword or solar. Now, what this tells me is that there are 21 occurrences of solar here on the page. And I can use these little arrows to go back and forth between those occurrences of that word solar here on the page. So I can really figure out what the best way to search for that given keyword or value, whatever it is I'm trying to figure out how to search for. Okay. So that is your additional fields feature, I guess we'll say here. So additional fields can be helpful when trying to find properties with rather specific details or values. Now, the only thing that I want to mention here, guys, is that you do have to be aware that if it's not a required field, sometimes agents don't fill it out. And if they haven't filled that field out and you go to search for it, well, you're not going to find it because, well, the listing agent hasn't said that listing has that feature or value on the property. So when you're talking about how to use those additional fields, again, you're going to come here to additional fields at the bottom of the standard criteria, click add or add remove. You'll be taken to that pick list where you can choose any of the fields that you want to search by, select, click add in the middle, moves it to the right, then click the back button. You will then see those newly added fields down here at the bottom of the page. So my name is Andrew Cucinato, again, one of the customer success coaches here at Bright. And that is your additional fields and some of the more commonly used items that people will use to try to find some unique homes. So guys, one thing I do want to leave you with, please feel free to reach out to your customer success coach. Go to education across the top. You're going to see customer success coaches. That'll show you who your dedicated coach is. We go county to county. Also, feel free to connect with a coach. Okay. connect with a coach, that button will take you to a calendar where you can pick a date and a time that works for you to meet with one of us coaches to go over anything Bright MLS. So thank you for being here today and taking the time to watch our Facebook Live and learn a little more about how to use the additional fields in search. Thanks again. Have a bright day.